I've owned my ranch in the high plains for over 20 years. It's not your typical spread. Apart from the cattle and horses, one of my barns happens to be a secured federal storage site under contract with the Department of Homeland Security. Long story short, the barn houses sensitive monitoring equipment for a border surveillance program. It's nothing dramatic, mostly solar-powered drones, emergency gear, and encrypted radio relays. But it's fenced, gated, and clearly posted with federal property. No trespassing signs. I maintain it, I manage the site, and once a month federal agents drop by to do an inspection. Now, my ranch backs up to a fancy new development that popped up 5 years ago. Enter Karen, self-appointed queen of the Rolling Creek HOA. She's one of those people who believes her HOA's rules override federal law and the U.S. Constitution itself. Last month, I got home from a supply run and noticed the chain on my barn gate had been cut. At first, I figured maybe a ranch hand needed access in an emergency. But when I pushed the barn door open, there she was, Karen, clipboard in hand, standing in the middle of the barn with 2 HOA board members poking around my secured crates. She had the gall to look me up and down and bark. This structure violates our community guidelines. You can't store industrial equipment here. It's an eyesore. We've voted to inspect and remove it if necessary. I stood there in disbelief. Karen, you just broke into a locked federal storage site. You understand that's a felony, right? She scoffed. It's just a barn. The HOA has jurisdiction. And your attitude is very hostile, sir. I pointed at the enormous red sign on the door. You see that? This is federal property under contract. Tampering with it, trespassing. That's not an HOA fine, Karen. That's federal prison. She didn't believe me, so she called the county sheriff herself, claiming I was illegally storing dangerous equipment. Bad move. 20 minutes later, 3 sheriff's deputies rolled up, alongside 2 unmarked government SUVs. Turns out, the monitoring system had triggered a silent alarm when she broke the lock. DHS agents were already en route before I even got home. Karen's triumphant smirk melted the moment a plainclothes agent stepped out, badge on his belt. He asked her, "Ma'am, did you cut this chain?" She stammered that she had the right because she's HOA president. He didn't even answer, he just turned and asked his partner to read her rights. She shrieked when they snapped cuffs on her. Her board buddies tried to flee, but the deputies herded them right back. I gave my statement, showed them my contract and security logs, and the federal agents thanked me for maintaining the barn so well. As they loaded Karen into the SUV, she hissed, "You'll regret this. I'll sue you." I just smiled. I'd focus on your lawyer, Karen, and maybe brush up on federal trespass statutes. A week later, the HOA tried to distance themselves, claiming they didn't authorize Karen's inspection. Tough luck. Her little break-in triggered a full review of their development's easements. Turns out half their fancy walking trails cross my ranch's edge. I revoked the easements and put up locked gates. Now the HOA has to negotiate with me if they want access back. Last I heard, Karen's fighting federal trespass charges and possible jail time. Her HOA meetings are a bit quieter these days. Funny how people lose that HOA attitude when they realize the barn they're breaking into is protected by federal law and people who don't play around. Sometimes it really pays to read the sign on the door before you cut the lock.